morning. Welcome to our Sunday meditation gathering. My name is Pascal. I was just recently flying back home from New York to Chapel Hill, and I was flying on the day that we had that huge rainstorm. And I've experienced turbulence, but I experienced a level of turbulence that I have never experienced before. And I was terrified. And as this was happening, I was also aware of my terror. And I sat with it because I had nothing else I could do. And it was interesting to watch how awareness is able to take feelings and cradle them and hold them and dissipate them. And by the end, it was a smooth landing. And the more aware that I become for myself, realizing there are things that I can face in myself, fears that I can face, and things I'm not ready to face, and being aware of that as well. So that's my reflection for this morning. Let us begin by reading the Essential Dharmas of Daily Practice on page 11. The mind is originally free from disturbance, but disturbances arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the equanimity of our true nature by letting go of disturbances. The mind is originally free from delusion, but delusions arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the wisdom of our true nature by letting go of delusions. The mind is originally free from wrongdoing, but wrongdoings arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the precepts of our true nature by letting go of wrongdoings. Let us replace disbelief, greed, laziness, and ignorance with belief, zeal, questioning, and dedication. Let us turn resentment into gratitude. Let us turn dependency into self-reliance. Let us turn reluctance to learn into willingness to learn well. Let us turn reluctance to teach into willingness to teach well. Let us turn lack of public spirit into eagerness to serve the good of all. Let us prepare ourselves for meditation. Please stand up behind your mats, and Lars will guide us in some gentle movements to warm up our body. Follow as much as your body and energies permit.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning at home. Make sure you relax, please, and have your feet about hip-width apart. Make sure our spine is erect, our shoulders are relaxed. And let's go from head to toe. Let's breathe in, bring our arms up. Start breathing out, turn your hands over, thumbs pointing outward, and then bring your head towards your hands towards your head. Tuck your chin in. Breathing in. Your hands come back out. Gaze into the wide opening. And drop everything down and follow your gaze with your hands all the way down. Breathing in one more time. Follow your hands back up. Breathing out. Put your hands up towards your face. Tuck in your chin. Breathe in. Bring your hands all the way back out. Follow the gaze. Drop and look down. Follow your hands. One more time. Breathing in. Thumbs point outwards. Bring your hands towards your face. Breathe in. And drop, breathe out. Breathe in, bring your hands back up. One hand drops, the other one just falls over like you have a pizza in your hand. Turn your head, just your head, about 70%. And then breathe back in. Your hands come back forward to our body, passing each other. And we change our hands, and our head looks at the hand that holds the pizza box. And breathing in, switch hands. And breathe out. This time, gaze about 80%. And then back forward, breathing in. Switch your hands. The other side, twist your head about 80%. And we switch one more time forward, switch. Breathing in. This time we look about 90% with our head. And one more time to the other side, breathing in. And we're breathing out, both hands come in front of us. Drop everything. And once we drop, just follow the meridian and our shoulders move up and back down, up. And reverse. Now catch Qi high. We're breathing in, our hands come to the side. Fold them over and drop everything down. Breathe in and out. In and out. Now catch your Qi energy ball right in front of you. Switch your hands. The hands come roll up and push up all the way. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And relax. Drop your outstretched arm right in front of you. And we're switching hands. Breathing in. On the way up, and we're stretching. Hold your breath for a second. And relax and drop everything. And switch. Stretch and relax. Breathing in. Stretch and relax. One more round, breathing in and out. In and out. Let's catch our Qi energy ball again in front of us. Lock your hips down, and we only move our upper torso. Breathing in, turn it to one side. Shouldn't move much. Switch your hands. And to the other side. Switch hands. Hands. Turn to the other side. Switch. And switch one last time. Now let's bring our hands back in front of us and our torso back in front of us. Hold your, like a basketball in the hand. Drop the basketball. And then we're stepping out like you're pushing an imaginary wall behind you. And then we bring our hands forward, step back. And forward. And back. One more time forward and back. Now bring our arms down. Once we switch to center, now we switch our feet. Other foot forward, hands come back up and switch. and switch. Now we're switching. It's like an imaginary wall on your side. You're pushing against the wall, and your other foot steps out. And then just imagine your hands just follow a big walk, wash that walk, and step out to the other side. And breathing in, wash the walk, push, step out, and switch. Switch. One last round, switch. And one more time, switch. Perfect. Now, standing Batsabu is like make a V shape with your feet. Bring your heels together. Let's bring our fist to our hip bone. And we're going to be punching out with one of the hands. And the opposite foot comes forward. Okay, and then bring it back. Breathing in, switch. And bring it back. Switch. And back. Switch. If you want to challenge yourself, you can just bring up your leg too or kick out. One more time. Switch. One more round. And one last time. Switch. Great. Now we step out with one of our feet. Shift forward. And then comes the hand on your fist. And then reverse. Bring your fist back on your hip. And then step back. And now we switch. Step out forward. Lean forward and punch. Come back. Step back. And switch. Step out. Punch. Bring back. One last round. Step out and punch. Bring your arms back. Step out. Perfect. And back. Now we just have our hands on our hips. We're going to pull our heel to the ground. We lift our leg up and then we put our toe on the ground. Heel, toe. Heel, toe. Heel and toe. And then switch. The other leg, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, and toe. Let's switch back to the other side. We go from pinky toe to big toe. Small to big. Pinky to big. And switch. Pinky to big. Small to great. Non-being into being. And step back. Stretch. Let's rest in our heart center for a second. Breathe in. And breathe out. Drop our hands. Breathe in. And breathe out. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It looks like we filled up doing Qi Gong. If you won't mind just stepping up or scooping up a few inches or a foot forward, give people in the back some space. And now let's offer 4 bows to the Dharmakaya Buddha Fourfold Grace, either way standing or in full kneeling.
With gratitude, I bow to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the marvelous gift of nature and the universe. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of parents and everyone who has given me life and nurtured me. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of fellow beings, the truth of interconnectedness among all beings. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of laws, which guides us, protects us, and promotes justice.
How are you all doing this morning? This is actually 9:17. You all are early birds this morning. Please make your seat comfortable. Take the time to wiggle and rock your body from side to side, forward, backward. Imagine you are spreading your pelvic floor in your chair or mat or bench. Gently keep rocking until you find the most comfortable, settled kind of sitting body. Welcome to our Sunday meditation practice. Meditation is simple. Meditation is a gift. Anyone can practice it. During your sitting, especially first a couple of minutes, continue to take time to find your most comfortable position on the floor or in your chair. Scan your entire body to see if there is any tension. First, let go of tension in your face and head. Let go of tension in your face, forehead, cheeks, chin, nose, eyes, ears. Let go of tension in your entire face and head, neck and shoulders. Breathe in and release tension. Breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out, release tension. By doing so, also let go of tension in your mind, in your thoughts, or any internal mental work. Breathe in and breathe out. Release any worries about the past or future. Breathe in and release any tension of working energy in your mind, any planning mind. While doing so, relax your whole body again. It is okay to slouch a little bit if that feels more natural. But if your body agrees, gradually sit up tall. You can imagine yourself as daffodil. Gradually sit up tall, deeply rooted, connected with the energy of the earth. Your low back feels growing stronger, and your chest and heart opening more and more as you sit up a little bit taller and taller. Beautiful. With the image of happy daffodil sitting, you can also feel your ears aligned softly with your shoulders and gently tuck your chin in slightly. And again, relax your whole body. Let your shoulders melt away from your ears. You can start to feel the joy of a sensation of your arms and hands relaxing and relaxing. Whenever you notice yourself playing with the thoughts or wandering in the past or future, you can always softly open your eyes to wake up at this present moment. What a gift, what a present to receive and give to each other in this calm, clear spirit awareness, staying awake in our calm, inner calm, inner calm, inner peace. 영주 prayer chant. Page 4. Let us read the meaning in English together. Yongju prayer chant. The spiritual
energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth.
천지
영기 아심정 만사요에 아심정 전지여와 동일체 아여 전지 천지영기 아심정 만사요의 아심통 천지요와 동일체 아여 천지동심정 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 천지영기 아심정 만사요의 아심통 천지요와 동일체 아여 천지동심정.
Prayer for world peace.
Grace of heaven and earth, grace of parents, grace of fellow beings, grace of laws. O Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, may we take refuge in Dharma and be filled with compassion and wisdom. May we transform delusion into wisdom, greed into generosity, resentment into gratitude, discord into harmony, and hatred into compassion. May all nations grow and benefit mutually. May the strong help the weak, and may the weak learn and evolve according to Dharma. May all those who have died from world conflicts and disasters be delivered through all obstacles and be at rest. May there be peace throughout the world, and may all beings enjoy tranquility and happiness, living in their original true nature. This we pray with our whole hearts. 원합니다. 원합니다. 간절히 간절히 원하옵니다. 내 손 Gildanun God Nevalgil Mamunun God Neum Song Maritinun God Nemaum Yang Hanun God Mana Durimodu Damge Urimodu Damge Song Buljetun Inyani
I
Wish and pray, sincerely and truly, where my hands touch the world, where my feet walk on the earth, where my voice echoes through the hills, and in all realms where my heart and mind reach, that we all together, share a true affinity for attaining great enlightenment and for helping all living beings.
Sutra chanting, page 9. Irwan Sangva.
One is the realm of samadhi beyond words and speech, the gateway of birth and death, transcending being and non-being, the origin of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings, and laws, the true nature of all Buddhas, enlightened masters, unenlightened people, and sentient beings, till one manifests as both permanence and impermanence, viewed as permanence, till one unfolds into an infinite world that is ever abiding, spontaneous, just as it is viewed as impermanence, till one unfolds into infinite worlds through the cycle of formation, duration, decay, and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all beings, according to how we use our minds and bodies. In the four forms of birth we transform through the 6 realms of existence, progressing or regressing, with grace arising from harm or harm from grace. Therefore we unawakened beings vow to practice wholeheartedly, modeling ourselves after Ilwan Sangha, Dharmakaya Buddha, by cultivating our minds and bodies deeply, knowing human affairs and universal principles thoroughly, and using our minds and bodies skillfully, thus progressing rather than regressing, and receiving grace rather than harm, until we attain the great empowerment of Ilwan, become one with the nature of Ilwan.
This morning, our good temple friend, Anne Freeman, Won Ri, is going to share a Dharma talk called Self-Examination, a conversation with Master Sote-san, Emily Dickinson, and me. Let us practice deep listening as we warmly welcome Anne.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy to be with you guys this morning. For much of my life, I have struggled with depression. I have received therapy, lots of therapy, taken medications, and practiced mindfulness and meditation as I've learned it here at the temple. All of these have been very helpful. And I'm happy and relieved to say that I currently experience a good amount of well-being in my life. Yay for that. However, there remains a sticky stronghold. Every evening as I brush my teeth, floss, wash my face in preparation for bed, I feel quite low. It feels like the depression is saying, "You think you are rid of me? Dream on, Anne. I've still got a hold of you." It's depressing, to say the least. Recently, a passage in our scripture book reached out to me, seeming to present an invitation. The invitation was for self-examination. To help me with this self-examination, I decided to have an imaginary, this is completely imaginary, conversation with Master Sote-san and the 19th century poet Emily Dickinson. I start by asking Master Sote-san how I might start working on my evening blues. He said, and this is from chapter 3, verse 1, "You must assess and check your mind over and over to see whether or not your mind ground is disturbed, diluted, or subject to wrongdoing. You must do this until ultimately you reach a state in which the mind needs no checking. It is said that a person's mind is so extremely subtle that it exists when you take hold of it, but disappears when you let it go. How then can a person cultivate one's mind without checking it?" I say, assess and check my mind, take hold of it. What could that mean for me with my evening blues? I decide to assess by first noticing. Close examination shows me that I feel a heaviness in the dumps, even painful intrusive memories when I'm sure I have humiliated myself. These memories are like eruptions of shame that seem to bubble up out of nowhere. To use Master Sote-san's word, my mind is disturbed. This examination leads to an initial discovery. I'm tired. My brain is tired. I need sleep. This discovery leads to an awareness. Wow, look at how deeply affected my mood is by my physical state. I try out a choice. I could hold this heaviness as some intractable, permanent personal trait, or simply fatigue. This feels a little bit better. "Miss Dickinson," I ask, "any comment at this point?" She says, "The thought beneath so slight a film is more distinctly seen." I'll read that again. "The thought beneath so slight a film is more distinctly seen." Ah, I say, there was a thought I had not seen. The thought was that I'm tired every night. I will be tired every night. I'm stuck with this heaviness. The film that covered this thought was my deluded belief that I am a depressed person. It's who I am and who I always will be. "Thank you, Miss Dickinson," I say. She smiles enigmatically, like her poetry. Sometime after the realization of this deeper, more subtle connection between my body and my state of mind, I noticed feeling slightly better in the evening, but still quite heavy. With a sigh, I say to Master Sote-san, "I tried to take a closer look. I did see and learn something useful, and I still feel heavy." from chapter 3, verse 59. Master Sotasan calmly, patiently replied, people who cultivate their mind fields well are like good farmers who keep weeding their fields again and again until they eliminate all the weeds and are growing only crops, thereby reaping a good harvest in the autumn. In the same way, you must investigate over and over the arising of wholesome and unwholesome mental states. When an unwholesome mental state arises, you must eliminate it completely, nourishing only the wholesome mental state so that wisdom and merit will always be abundant. I thank him for his wisdom and, grumbling, hopefully, respectfully, returned my mind field. This time, I noticed this weed of my evening blues has deep roots. I've been trying to pull it out, but it keeps growing back. My discovery this go-round is that this state of mind is deeply rooted in me. My new awareness that it is a product of old patterns in me, deep conditioning. I make a different choice this time. What would happen if I conditioned my mind in a new, more wholesome direction by practicing gratitude each night? So I focus on the water freely flowing each time I turn the faucet on, the delicious warmth of the water, the miracle of an electric toothbrush, the brilliant people who invented floss, the thimbleful of wisdom that emerged from that was that old patterns of thought and mood can become deeply conditioned, seem normal, and therefore resistant to our even being aware of them. If we aren't aware of this conditioning, how can we choose a healthier way to respond to it? We cannot change something we are not aware of. Miss Dickinson, I ask, any way in here? She says, we noticed smallest things, things overlooked before, by this great light upon our minds, italicized as it were. I reply, yes, Miss Dickinson, this awareness of these old conditioned patterns or weeds within me shines a bright light. There is relief in seeing more clearly the truth of what's going on inside me. Master Sotasan gently repeats, you must investigate over and over the arising of wholesome and unwholesome states. The good farmer weeds his or her field again and again. So I go back to the drawing board. This time I make a different choice. I'll see what happens if I just sit with the heaviness, invite it in for tea, as Thich Nhat Hanh suggests, and see what it has to say. So I sat with it, open, listening, receptive, and it vanished. What? I say to myself. I think I need to concentrate on it more. Really focus my mind. Focusing. Okay, there it is. I feel the heaviness. And then, again, it evaporated like mist in a breeze. This presence and disappearance continued. Examination this go-round birthed a new awareness. When I look closely, these blues are not constant. It's always changing. Sometimes it's there and sometimes not. The snippet of wisdom from this awareness is that our assumptions about our mental states can blind us to the reality of the actual experience of something. Realizing this truth felt like a clearing out within myself. Master Sotasan nods his head gently and says, over and over, again and again. Miss Dickinson says, what fortitude the soul contains, that it can so endure, the accent of a coming foot, the opening of a door. As a result of taking a deep breath and opening the door over and over, I've noticed in the last month or two feeling more neutral in the evenings. The intrusive, shame-filled memories have all but stopped. I'll take it. To be honest, however, my sense is that examining my inner state in the evenings will be for me an evolving process of weed pulling. While I don't enjoy even a little heaviness in the evenings, I can sincerely say I enjoy this path of self-examination. Hold on, I lost my, oh, here we go. That is noticing, discovery, new awarenesses, fresh choices in response, and accumulating teaspoons of wisdom. Perhaps my evenings are one of my most useful vehicles for growth, moving me down the road to ever-increasing clarity, reduced suffering, and wonder. I'd like to close with the words of another great poet who explored self-examination. This is an excerpt from The Well by David Whyte. But the miracle had come simply from allowing yourself to know that you had found it, that this time someone walking out into the clear air from far inside you had decided not to walk past it anymore. No, the miracle had already happened when you stood up, shook off the dust, and walked toward the mountain, as if already home again, as if you deserved what you loved all along, as if just remembering the taste of that clear, cool spring could lift up your face and set you free.
Thank you, Anne, for your authenticity and your vulnerability. I was very inspired and started thinking, oh, I need to be a little more examining of my states and follow your example. So now we're just going to take just a few minutes, just actually a few moments, just to breathe and think about what Anne's words were and how they meant what they meant to us. Now, friends at home, you're welcome to enjoy this time to contemplate further, or you can leave your comments in the live chat. Friends in the Dharma Hall, we're going to gather in groups of 2 and 3 and talk about your takeaways from Anne's brilliant words.
I'll take it.
I appreciate Anne's talk that she made it like a conversational, and like that our founding teacher feels like he's right next to her, conversing and communing. That's a wonderful presentation. By the way, anyone here goes to Chapel Hill High School? Raise your hand. Nobody? Over there. Oh, over there. Oh, great. Wonderful. Or anyone who used to go to Chapel Hill High School. Oh, wonderful. Right nearby, it's not that far from here. Every year we go to Chapel Hill High School, we are invited to lead meditation. It is called Tiger Fest, Chapel Hill High School, Tiger Fest. The student government, they invite us. It is May 28th, a second class for 1 hour, titled as Discover Your Clear and Calm Mind Through Meditation. So if you know any youngsters who go to Chapel Hill High School, please let them come and experience meditation together, because we are going there. Would you join the meditation at your Tiger Fast? There's more information here. These days, it's very interesting. So many students from high school, middle school, college visit our temple, and then we are invited so many times to visit their boarding school or their classes. I feel very hopeful about the deep interest in meditation, mindfulness from youngsters. It feels like we have better future because they are our hope. Yeah. Anyone first time in our temple today? Oh, welcome. Welcome. What's your name? Chari. Chari. Yes. Welcome. So glad you are here. Now, before we go to, we have announcements. Yes.
How wonderful it has been to practice with you all today. I'm feeling a little jet lagged. I've been traveling for a few weeks. I got to go to Manila for work, and then I decided to drop into Seoul for a few days when I was planning my original trip. And one of the things I decided to do while I was there, with the help of Reverend Sean and Reverend Won Gong, was to go to service at the Gangnan Temple, the Won Buddhist temple in Seoul. It's one of the few that they have there. And it was all in Korean. And I went anyway, and they were absolutely lovely. And Reverend Won Gong had sort of set me up and connected me with some folks there that did speak English. And it was a very different service than what we're used to, but they do have meditation services which are separate than the traditional Dharma service. And I was able to understand some things, like when they were reading the essential Dharmas, a daily practice, I was able to recite them in English while they did Korean, and there were several others that I knew. But it was lovely, and they were wonderful. They fed me lunch and showed me around, and Mr. and Mrs. Chu were the sort of my hosts there at the time, and they actually summoned me down in front of this huge congregation to speak and to introduce myself. And then he was my interpreter, Mr. Chu, and would sort of recite what I was saying to the congregation. And then he, over lunch, told me what he had stated. And he's told them that I was a miracle. And I've been called a lot of things, and I've never been called a miracle. And he further went to describe it that they recently had a visit from like a head Dharma leader to their temple, who said that the Kimonims in the US who are able to bring together a Sangha of Americans for Won Buddhism and to develop a community here were miracle workers. And that I was one of the miracles from Reverend Won Gong. And I had come to their temple just to be there that Sunday because I was missing service here. And so I just thought that was very lovely, and I wanted to share that with you all. And I do feel blessed that we do have such a miracle worker with us all the time. So that was lovely.
Thank you, Shauna. I'm glad you got to have that experience. And for more miracles here at home, at 4 p.m. at our Raleigh temple, you're welcome to join us for a meditation, both indoors and outdoors in the daffodil forest. Notice these beautiful daffodils here. All are welcome to join.
And for even more meditation, we invite you to join us here every morning at 6:30 a.m. It might take a few days to adjust to that time, but we do set a beautiful way to start your days.
Yeah. And this April as well, Reverend Won Gong is going to be giving a special week-long retreat. It's called Gratitude Awakening, and that's in the Southern Dharma Retreat Center out in the Smoky Mountains. It's quite beautiful, and there are still 2 spots available, so sign up if you'd like to have a good spring break.
And save the date, because April 27th is our Great Awakening Day and our spring open house. If you want to join our small little planning committee, please do so. It will be a wonderful time.
And everyone is also invited to join our weekly Thursday Dharma study group. These sessions are held at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. either in person or online every week. And we contemplate and discuss a new verse each week. You're always welcome to drop in because of that, so no prior experience is necessary. And it's always good to have new perspectives as well, so new people are very welcome. Last week's topic was about taming the ox of our mind, about walking toward freedom of mind instead of getting tangled in thorny briar patches. We will be discussing 9 more verses from the chapter on practice in the next 9 weeks. Please come and join in on these sessions.
And as always, we are grateful for your generous support of our temple through your donations. On your way out, please visit the offering table in the foyer.
And let's now turn to page 13 and bless one another with our morning prayer song.
Dharmakaya
Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day in your presence. Today full of health and with peace of mind, may I walk along the path of the Buddha. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day with your grace. Today gratefully and with gentle words, may I live in harmony with all those I meet. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day with compassion. Today making the world a more loving place. May I do all that I can for one world.
Guess what? We have 5 more minutes left, and you are invited to have a lying down relaxation to catch up some sleep. Friends at home, please join us too. Lay down on your back, relax your whole body. I'm gonna just ring the resonant gong sound for you to relax. Or Nick, you wanna do a lullaby song for us? Yeah. Breathe and feel your soft belly. Breathe and feel your relaxed body. Let us welcome this warm, happy spring energy with our calm, happy, relaxed body and mind. Gently wiggle your toes, fingers, and start to stretch. Whenever ready, slowly roll over to the side. And then slowly ease into coming to sitting. And raise your left hands up high and relaxed. Look at the Mr. Sonia over there and wave hands. Happy spring, happy March, happy spring.